Thanks for joining me in this video. In this video, I'll be discussing study permit applications. Study permit applications are a temporary document. Obviously, what's the most important document is your acceptance letter from the school. What this is the school saying, yes, we accept you into this program. You have until X date to get the study permit so that you can start your studies in Canada. So that's obviously very important. The acceptance letter needs to mention the duration, needs to mention the program, and the tuition fees, and anything else that the school may require you before you go into that program. The best applications are those where the client can prove that they've made the first semester payment on their tuition. Now, sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you don't have the funds right away. And so you should demonstrate that those funds can and will be accessible to you to provide the first semester's tuition. However, if you've made the payment, include the receipt, and that's very important to the success of the application. The other key thing for a study permit application is your study plan. And this is key because a lot of people forget to include this. What this is exactly that. What is your plan? Why did you choose to come to Canada? Why did you choose this particular program? Why did you choose this particular school? What do you intend to do with this once you finish? How are you going to utilize this studies back home? Will this broaden your employment prospects in the future? Will this allow you to get a better job? You got to really flesh it out to the officer. Specifically, try to choose a program that's not available in your country or it's unique to Canada. Don't use a program where you could have easily done it in your country or another country. The other thing that's important is your ties to your home country. So a lot of students won't have a lot of ties. Obviously, they're in their early 20s, and so they might not have property, they might not have an extensive bank account. That's fine. You can add ties of your family, so your mom and your dad. You should include letters from your parents saying, yes, I'm going to support my child's tuition and financially be responsible for them. Sometimes I get the question of, can my uncle or can this person or that person support me financially? And the answer is yes. But keep in mind, when you go further and further from the bloodline, if you will, on who supports you financially, your application becomes weaker and weaker. So let's say someone who says, my parents are going to support me financially, has a stronger application than someone who says, my friend will do it. And the reason why this is so is because most likely your parents are not going to bail out on you. Versus a friend might say, you know what, I don't like you anymore, we had an argument, I'm not going to support you anymore. So if you look at it from a logical perspective, an officer will most likely lean towards an approval when it is your parents, or if you yourself can prove that you're going to financially support yourself. The last thing I'm going to mention is, again, I go back to the program. Sometimes a client comes to me and says, you know what, I already have a bachelor's degree and I want to come for a study in Canada. What should I do? And you got to look at why you need to do that. So not to say that you cannot, but you really, in your study permit plan, you got to explain to the officer why you are choosing this program, how this will enhance your employment. If you're pivoting from your current degree and your current employment, why you're doing this, what is your future back home? In your study plan, you got to connect everything back to your home country. Now I know and I understand, and so does the officer, that most students who come to Canada obviously intend to get a post-grad work permit, work in Canada, find an employer, and make a life in Canada. That's totally acceptable, but the officer that's reviewing your study permit application has to be convinced that at the time that you make the application, your intention is to exit. So that is very important. If your plans change, let's say you get a really nice job once you get the postgrad and you intend to stay, that's fine too. But ensure that when you submit the applications for study permit, you include significant ties, significant arguments that you're going to go back to your home country. If this is your situation, whether it's for you, a friend, a family member, and you're looking at applying for a study permit application, give us a call today. Let me review your application and your documentation, and I can tell you how we can help. Thank you, and until next time.